Hello, everybody. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Show. Welcome along. Today we are covering Stoke versus Brentford, and this is the pre-match preview show. Subtitle: Brentford's big chance. Leeds had their big moment yesterday. Can Brentford take their opportunity for theirs today? In the words of Brian Moore in 1989, it's up for grabs now, and it really, really is up for grabs for Brentford. As ever, we will be covering pre-game right now, and then we'll be back at half-time, and we will be back at full-time. Might be slightly shorter show at full-time, so maybe not a Q&A at full-time, but we will certainly get the match review done. So please come back. There you have it, right there. We'll be back at half-time and at full time. As ever, get your predictions in via the comments for this one. You don't have to give me a score. Just say home win, away win, or draw in this one. And we all know the reason it's up for grabs today is that result last night. Incredible goings on at Huddersfield. They took the lead early. West Brom getting a bit of a controversial equaliser before half-time. Looked like West Brom would be pushing, going for the win as that game wore on. But did they bottle it? Did they get nervous? You decide. 85th minute, Huddersfield scored the goal that really opened it up for Brentford today. Remember, the state of play was that Huddersfield even getting a draw in that game was going to be vaguely disastrous. But Huddersfield winning that game has really done for West Brom now, and it is totally up for grabs. A quick little look, that's the wrong half, a quick little look at the league table says, obviously we know that result promoted Leeds United last night, but for Brentford now it's so straightforward. A draw today puts them above West Brom. A win today puts them on the brink. Literally then from that last game, they would only need a draw. It's 4 points and they can get 3 of them today. Huge opportunity. And also remember that Brentford not winning today would make Leeds champions before they play at Derby tomorrow. Let's have a look. Here are the other games, including a pretty gigantic one at 12:30 as well. Charlton versus Wigan down at the bottom of the table. There's our game here, Stoke Brentford, and then 3 p.m. Blackburn Reading, Fulham Sheffield Wednesday, Hull Luton is another massive game today. Borough versus Cardiff, Preston versus Birmingham, QPR Millwall, and Swansea Bristol City is what is happening today. And tomorrow, just for good measure, we could see Leeds crowned champions there at Derby, and a big one for both Barnsley and Forest at differing ends of the table. We've already had a look there at the top of the table, so really in Brentford's hands now. Can they keep up the incredible streak? We've said for a while now, 10 wins in a row for promotion would be the most incredible finish, but they're on for it. 2 wins away, incredible stuff. Down the bottom, big day for Huddersfield yesterday, wasn't it? They are, to all intents and purposes, safe now, and I think if I did the maths, probably given Charlton are playing Wigan and Hull are playing Luton, they're probably mathematically safe as well, but they can only be tied now on 51 points. You would think, looking at Stoke there, Stoke, Middlesbrough and Birmingham, remember you've got to factor Wigan's 12-point deduction there, that they're on 45, just above the line effectively in 21st. I think, unless we get a couple of very decisive results today, that the 3 teams on 50 are safe, but Stoke obviously could do with a point or 3 just to make that completely certain. Keep your comments coming in. We'll get to your predictions very soon. There is the run of form that's put Brentford on the brink of everything. You can see there 8 straight wins. That's their last 10 games. I was at that defeat at Luton, and it's been sensational since then, hasn't it? And barely a goal conceded. Look, 1 against Derby there and 1 against Charlton. That is it. 8 wins in a row, 2 goals conceded, maximum points from those 8 games. And that is what has put them right on the brink today. How will they handle the pressure? There is a league table from the 25th of February when Brentford lost that game against Luton. So that was 10 games ago. And you can see there 13 points behind West Brom at that point. Today, if we analyse those tables, they can go 2 points ahead with a victory. They would go to 84. Therefore, over 10 games, if they win today, that would be a 15-point swing over 10 games. Incredible. 1.5 points every game. That would be Brentford making up on West Brom. Can they? They're right there. Can they just go past them today and put themselves in that position on the last day of the season to make it into the Premier League? Keep your comments coming and get your predictions in for this one. Stoke's last 10 games, well, they've done enough, haven't they? There's 3 victories in there, and particularly 2 victories in 3 games has really helped them out big style, hasn't it? In terms of points, there's 9 points from wins there and 4 points from draws. So 13 points over the 10 is enough, isn't it? Especially down the bottom there. You look at a point per game, and obviously Stoke have been chasing really for a long, long while, given how bad their start to the season was. So it's set up nicely today. Remember, Stoke, sound like Mick McCarthy, Stoke are no mugs. They have a lot of good players still hung over from their Premier League days. They're well funded. They've got parachute money. They're in year 2 of parachute money. They're just in a big muddle, considering it went from Paul Lambert temporarily then to Gary Rowett, didn't it? That didn't work out. Then Nathan Jones, that didn't work out. And now you have Michael O'Neill there. So a lot of twisting and turning, and that is what's caused the problem. They do have some good players, but do these players have a losing mentality? Brentford certainly have a winning mentality at the moment. If I remove that ticker along the bottom there, you will see Infogol has a 47% chance of a Brentford victory in this one, 60% in the betting markets there with Betfair. Again, there's emotion attached to the betting market, whereas in terms of liabilities they've taken from punters, obviously, they don't have any emotion. But the Infogol one is just pure number driven. Let's have a look at the teams. We'll get to your comments in just a second. Now, Infogol have projected that as a 4-2-3-1. Remember, we did see a very defensive-looking 5-3-2 in the game away at Leeds for Stoke. So if you were to shuffle all that back 4 along a little bit and stick James McLean in a left wing-back position, the reason I'm questioning that is Lee Gregory is just not an attacking midfielder. They're 19. So it could well be that Gregory actually joins Vokes up front. You then have a midfield 3 of Cousins, Powell and Klukas, and James McLean may be deployed as a wing-back, or he was very deep as a full-back. Remember who he may well be up against. Could be Brian Buemo, and if they swap, it could be Ben Rama as well down that side. So keep an eye on Stoke in respects of the team shape, but Davies in goal, no Butland. Smith conceded that penalty, didn't he, at Leeds. Chester and Bart. Indy, well, will he play left back or will he play left centre back? We'll find out. Cousins and Klukas will definitely be central midfielders, whether it's at 2 or 3, we'll find out. So will Powell likely at 25. McLean, 11. just keep an eye on him, because that'll tell us whether we're going to see a defensive show if McLean's at wing back, or maybe a bit more of an attacking lineup there. Gregory, as I say, I expect him to be up top with Vokes there, so watch out for that system. Fortunately, we know exactly what Brentford are going to do, because they are extremely settled. There's been a couple of little tweaks every now and then, and you'll see there no Emiliano Marcondes. He's been very good, actually, but that's where the tweaks have been made. Dalsgaard missed the game, didn't he, at right back? Otherwise, it's just been a rotation of De Silva and Marcondes really in that central midfield area. So a very settled lineup. Raya in goal, Dalsgaard, Janssen, Pinnock, Henry across the back, De Silva, Norgard and Jensen. Remember, Norgard will sit. The other two will rotate. I thought Jensen had a good game last time out against Preston. And then the three off the front, and Buemo will be coming in onto the left foot from the right. Watkins playing the width of the penalty area, but we may see some rotation there. And the main man, Said Benrahma, who has been absolutely superb of late. Let's have a look at your comments and get your predictions in: home win, away win, or draw. Chris is here as ever. Welcome, Chris, a Bees fan there. Up the Bees. Ollie says, come on, Stoke, win us the league. Yes, remember, that is a factor as well today. Leeds can be crowned champions, although I think if you're a Brentford fan and you get the draw and you're just going into that last game of the season, it's at home to Barnsley, isn't it? Going into that last game of the season ahead, that's the main thing. It's just defeat that would be a disaster today. Ollie says, how has Janssen done with you? Chris answers, brilliant, cool, calm and collected. And here is a stat. We have let in 38 less goals this season. Him and Pinnock. Also, Janvier have been brilliant. Dalsgaard and Henry. Yes, the back four, very effective. Remember, as I always say with Brentford, in no way, shape or form a defensive team. The reason they have a good goals against column is because they keep the ball so well and they stop people having chances. It's not standing up and defending, which, though, you have to do, and they have been much better, as Chris points out, this season. Hi to Mike in the chat, some probably sore heads among some Leeds fans here. Chris, going for an away win, it would be a 9th straight win. My God, if they do all 10, what a performance that will be. Stoke 0, Brentford 2, says Mike. Max, love your work, BB. Thank you, sir. Stephen, Super Leeds, we are Premier League. Yes, you are. Congratulations to all the Leeds fans. Connor says, big game today. So Millwall playing QPR. Let's just have a real quick look. We'll come back to Brentford and Stoke in just a second. Just have a look at the playoff picture. So a quick glance at the table tells us we're in a bit of a shootout between Cardiff on 67, Millwall there on 65, and Swansea on 64. Preston and Bristol City with an outside chance. Let's look at Cardiff, Millwall and Swansea's fixtures for today. Cardiff away at Borough and Warnock. Millwall away at QPR. Swansea at home to Bristol City. It can all change around. There's any number of permutations here, and any of those teams with the right results could be in the top 6, could be out of it. They could all switch places. Potential for any of those 3 teams to end the day in the 6th place spot going in to the last day of the season. Mike says a lot depends on if Stoke turn up for this game or not. Good point. They do look safe, don't they, Stoke? One of the teams on 50 down the bottom there. And then it's that question, is a relaxed team an easy one to knock over, or are they a dangerous team? You just think Brentford now, they've been playing for this moment. Thomas Frank was doing the right thing and playing it down, but now that result last night has given them the chance. Brentford have to go up, says Connor. Brian says, come on, Brentford, 73-year away. I've done 50 of those, mainly in Division 3 and 4. Yes, I saw Brentford in, would it have been, it was in 2000. Herman Hardison was playing for them. I think they were in the 4th tier. Then with Matthew Benham in charge, we believe, absolutely. Baggies Forever is here. There's still a chance that Stoke can do West Brom a favour. Players bottled it, no desire, no fight. They looked very, very nervous, didn't they? Mally says, hey guys, all Stoke, aren't we? There we go. Matthew says, how's the hangover? Yes, we did. We did have a few little drinkies last night, but I'm on the Pepsi Max today, diluting all of that. Remember, this channel is a neutral channel, and I was not drinking to the Leeds win or the Leeds promotion. I was drinking to all the wonderful subscribers donating super chats, of course. There, Bilic also with a poor team selection. Yeah, it's been interesting. The fullbacks he's gone with. Otherwise, it's only really Matt Phillips I would question, maybe Robson Kanu. But hey, if by definition not winning means a poor team selection, then there you go. Poor team selection it was. Eli says, really want Brentford to win today, and we can settle for a draw on Wednesday, says Eli, the Barnsley fan. Yes, there is that situation that Eli pointed out last night, that if the results go the right way for both Barnsley and Brentford today, that they could play out a very, let's say, friendly draw at Griffin Park on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Max says, Derby fans, pray for a Stoke win. Otherwise, you're going to get it hard tomorrow. Yes. A lot of Leeds fans have memories going back 12 months, don't they? Baggies Forever adds, it wasn't as much the result, it was more the players didn't even seem bothered. I wouldn't conflate Baggies Forever, the players freezing with them not being bothered. I just think sometimes psychologically and things go against you and players do just freeze. Remember the England players against Iceland. I've never seen really good football players freeze like that. Mally says, as we saw yesterday, anything can happen in this league, no matter what the form books say. Yeah, absolutely. Matthew agrees with me that it does look like a defensive one from Stoke. We'll bring it up again. So just keep an eye on it in the opening minutes. You can probably stick Lee Gregory alongside Sam Vokes, and you can probably stick James McLean back a little bit, Tommy Smith forward a little bit, shuffle all the centre halves across, and you've got a 3-5-2. Although I know people like to kill me out on, is it 3-5-2 or is it 5-3-2? My answer to that is you describe it whichever way you're comfortable with. But certainly it was a row of 5, wasn't it? Very deep without the ball. But then again, all team shapes are different with the ball than they are without the ball. Don't want to get into the 3-5-2, 5-3-2 debate, but Matthew makes a good point. Baggy says, I saw somewhere we'd won 3 in 10 and 8 in 23. Yes, and when you're up against a team that's potentially on for 10 straight victories if they win the next 2, that is never going to be enough. Is, said Ben Rama, punished, will not play, or will be primary? I don't know what that means. Maybe we'll get that rewritten. There we go. For whatever reason, Huddersfield wanted it more. Yeah, I do and I don't buy the wanted it stuff. Remember, some things went for Huddersfield yesterday. They scored an early goal from a goalkeeper mistake from a free kick, and then they picked them off with a late one. I don't think it's fair to say West Brom didn't want it, but they certainly didn't have enough to do it, did they? Leeds champions today, says Owen. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, a draw does it, and a draw isn't the end of the world for Brentford. Bjorn says, looking good, Benjamin. Yeah, maybe I wasn't last night for a little while, but there we go. Charles says, I predicted a Huddersfield win yesterday. Today, same for Stoke or the draw. Pressure is all on Brentford. Gandhi's flip-flop is here. I'm going to sit back and watch this match. Sit back and enjoy it. There we go. Lee Gregory, Millwall legend. Yes, indeed. Who is Martin in goal? Yes, I believe his full name is David Raya Martin, isn't it? So sometimes they throw up a different name. I think we all know him from his Blackburn days as David Raya. Gunnar says, no way Brentford slipping. Josh says Brentford 2-0. Leeds players are hungover. Well, I think we've all seen the images on Twitter of Bielsa arriving today. I'm hungover from Ben's fumes. Stop it. I'm fine. Look, I've washed my hair. We're going for a barbecue later. Going to get this coverage done. It's going to be a great day. I'm looking forward to it. I think the weather's going to perk up here in Bedfordshire. I'm good. Good afternoon, Ben. This might be a surprise. I have a headache. Just watched Keith Andrews on Sky saying how brilliant Leeds are. Funny he's changed his tune. I stand up for Keith Andrews because he was very good on loan at Ipswich way back when under Paul Jewell. I've tried to erase that from my memory. Mike says, whatever happens next, Bilic has to get them sorted out. If you want to go to playoffs when you've been a top 2 team, it's about psychology. Yeah, Mike's totally right about that now. It's almost a complete reset, isn't it? Whereas if you look at Brentford's focus at the moment, they should have been focusing on this moment now as these wins have been racking up over and again. White Hart says, I think it'll be more tight than expected. Nerves have to be playing a part for Brentford. I say 1-1, which is just enough. Yes, it is indeed. Milton, Brentford on a roll, would worry for West Brom in the playoffs. Let's see who drops into 6th place there. Cardiff have it at the moment. Could be Millwall, could be Swansea. Likely to be one of those guys, unless there's 2 straight wins and Forest could even drop to 6th there. Sawyers still thinks he's at Brentford. Been shocking for ages. Interesting. A simple 4-0 win for Brentford, says Nick. We are way more hungry. Well, let's see. Away win, says Connor. Duncan questions, will Brentford handle the pressure now it's in their hands? Up till now, they've had no pressure, just going out to win. They have a history of getting nosebleeds. That's the question, isn't it? The dynamic has shifted massively with that result yesterday, and the pressure is all on Stoke. Ron, Stoke need to get a point, then Barnsley to win on Wednesday if they need it. Very possible. Brentford have been fantastic, but now the pressure is on them and it changes everything. Remember, though, the best way to handle pressure is to have a settled, stable team that have all been playing for weeks, that all know what they're doing. There's no chaos and pressure in the team selection, and they should be relaxed from that point of view. They're set up to handle it, but it's in there now, isn't it? And what happens if you go a goal down? What happens if you get a dodgy refereeing decision against you? What happens if if Sam Clucas bangs one in from 30 yards, which he could, or Nick Powell? We'll see. Baggies have basically done a Leeds bend, but if promotion doesn't happen, I have faith in them getting promoted next season. Indeed. A little bit different this season than what happened to Leeds. Yes, Sheffield United were really good last year, but this streak from Brentford is just unprecedented, isn't it? Any other season, and they're up, aren't they? I think I may watch Super Saturday later. Yes. Just enjoy the football today, you Leeds fans. Up until last night, top forward only dropped 8 points out of the last 60. Yeah, West Brom haven't been that terrible points per game, but remember, it's a race, isn't it? It's a race, and they are up against Brentford. That's the truth, and Brentford have just been winning. So, yes, they've all been impressive. You can pile Wigan into that as well on the points per game, but there we go. Brian, our players will fight for each other and just play another game. We will win 4-0. Second 4-0 prediction there. Leon says, we are Leeds. Congratulations. Absolutely. I'm just going to flip straight to that super chat before I come to White Hart Dane's performance. Azuz, 5 a.m. in Canada and I still haven't slept. My God. The last I was this happy is watching my home country, Iraq, win the Asian Cup. March on together. Congratulations, Azuz. I'm sure you haven't stopped drinking, maybe, over there in Canada, but enjoy. Thank you so much for the super chat. I will cheers you today with a Pepsi Max because I need to let my body recover a little bit today. But thank you so much for the support. As always, you can support via super chat or by subscribing on Patreon. Whose comment was I up to? I think it was White Hart, wasn't it? The difference between West Brom and Brentford is that West Brom were wobbling already. That is a fair point. Yeah, a Brentford defeat would literally come out of nowhere today, wouldn't it? Work from home says, come on, Stoke. Russell, feels so good to be able to watch this with no pressure. Actually going to take it in, enjoy the match. Plus, if Leeds win the title, you'll be I'm not going to be getting smashed again. Honestly, I need to be a sensible boy today. But we will be back on. We'll be back on tomorrow on the Derby Leeds game. Maybe that might be a good time. But it's just going to be the match review today without Q&A after the game. But please do come back and get involved. We'll still put the comments into that part of the show. Carl with a Swans badge there. Come on, Brentford, by far the best team in the Championship this season. I think he's trolling there a little bit. Ashley says, I can only see a Brentford win today after yesterday's result. The Brentford players will be well up for this. You would think so. White Hart be surprised if Cardiff don't get sixth. They're in there at the moment. Stoke 2, Brentford 4. Remember, Michael O'Neill's first game at Stoke was a 4-2 win at Barnsley, wouldn't it? Have I seen all the Leeds TV vids outside Ellen Road? Mental scenes, yeah. They're having a lovely old time, aren't they? Craig says, this season has been so good. Auto positions still going off, up for grabs and relegation battle. If you remember last season, it was all done by Easter, wasn't it? Leeds had their slip. Sheffield United won both. Norwich were drawing a few games, but they were already up. And then the playoffs were pretty much locked up until that final week. I think there was a big win for Derby at Bristol City, weren't there? So a few people have predicted a big away win here, haven't they? Let's see. Barnsley to beat Forest, says Connor. Could happen. If O'Neill knows his stuff, he'll try and close Ben Rama down. It nearly worked for Preston. Yeah, the problem when you're playing good teams is you can identify the best player, but there are other good players in that Brentford team. Okay, none of them are as good as Ben Rama, but there are other good players, so we'll see. Badger is back. It's squeaky bum time for Brentford now. Now they're expected to come second. The real pressure is on. Yes, indeed. More thumbs. Get your thumbs up. Like the video. What happens if they draw? If they draw, I think everyone's happy all round, aren't they? Stoke will be happy. That probably really makes them safe. Brentford will be happy because they're going to the last day in the second position. And Leeds will be happy because they'll be champions. So there we go. As a Leeds fan, it'd be nice to just watch the game being calm, knowing the results doesn't matter. Leeds got promoted last night, just in case you didn't know. And yes, a quick couple of plugs. I have done my Leeds promoted to the Premier League. How did they do it? Video, a little run through from Radrizzani taking over. And also, please retweet the Bielsa song at Benjamin Bloom and share from YouTube. Brentford will go second, even with a draw. Yes, indeed. Everything is fine, isn't it? Bailey's up already in Philly. Got to tune in. There you go. Thank you, sir. 2-1 or 3-1 Stoke. Interesting. Right. Today's going to be close, but I can't see Brentford not scoring. That is a fair and reasonable point. Let's just throw up. I know you all know the score, but we'll be back around 1:20. Just come and tune in after the halftime whistle goes. We're back at 2:25, but maybe we'll be able to go around 25 minutes, half an hour or so, but it won't be one of the sprawling long Q&As we've done. But please do come back nonetheless. Your comments will be, as always, required to help me kind of map out how the game went and what the general consensus is on everything. If you're watching on delay, which some people still do, even though they're preview shows, get involved in the comments. And as ever, support the channel by using Super Chat on YouTube, subscribing on Patreon, and it's completely free to hit the like button, comment, and we are vastly close now. Let me tell you the number to 10,000 subscribers. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, 9987. 13 away. By God, what a moment. Right, players are coming out. Sky will no doubt go to the turbo break in just a second. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll see you all at halftime and full time. Brentford's big chance. It's Stoke versus Brentford. Over and out. Enjoy the game.